Alright, so welcome to my predictions video for SummerSlam 2025, a two-night event this Saturday and Sunday. I'm recording this video on Thursday, July 31st, so if anything gets added to the show or changed, the prediction video is going to be up. But I think I'm going to try to anticipate what I can here on this video and give you my thoughts on what I think is going to happen and what I think should happen on this pay-per-view. So let's go ahead and talk about it. First of all, I want to get this one out of the way. We're going to do night one, then night two. Night one, Randy Orton and Jelly Roll versus Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. This is one of those like matches with celebrities that I just don't care that much about. I don't care about this feud. I haven't cared about the angle. I think that Drew McIntyre should be beyond this, in my opinion. But hey, it is what it is. Now, there have been reports that Drew McIntyre might not make it to the match because he's having some kind of flight issues. And if that's the case, that may actually be beneficial in hiding for him in a way. Because there's talk The Miz might replace him. But look, I'm sorry. I don't care about this feud. I'm not a fan of Jelly Roll. I don't hate the guy. It's not like it's a personal thing. I just don't care. It's like Travis Scott. I don't care. So my prediction is the baby faces are probably going to win. Jelly Roll will probably pin Logan Paul. That's my guess. And we'll move on with probably Randy and Drew in a singles program after this show. Judgment Day versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. The Judgment Day is, of course, Raquel and Roxanne. I don't think it's time for Flair and Bliss to win, even though they have strangely gotten over. This one's for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. And, Raquel and Roxanne, I don't know if this is, maybe I'm thinking 5 moves ahead, but it seems like what's going to end up happening is Dominic is going to eventually cheat on Liv with Roxanne because that's what he does. And he's already been established to be a cheater. Liv will come back, and I think it'll be Liv and Rhea Ripley taking the tag titles from the Judgment Day. I think this is like a year. This is like next year. This is not I'm not booking that soon. But I think that might make the most sense in that Dominic's going to be really, really upset when that happens. And he's going to have to pay for cheating on not only Mommy, but also Liv Morgan. So I think that might be the direction they're going to go in long term. Now, that does not mean that Charlotte and Alexa can't win here, then eventually drop it back to Raquel and Roxanne. But I have a weird feeling that there's going to be some kind of miscommunication and that Bliss and Charlotte are going to end up feuding coming out of this, and it'll leave Roxanne and Raquel as champions. Tiffy time is going to be out of time at SummerSlam Saturday. Then I want to talk about the Sami Zayn Karrion Kross match. Now, Sami Zayn won the last one, so logically, Kross would have to win this one, but that might not be the case. Sami Zayn, one of the most beloved WWE wrestlers, and the stipulation is relatively simple. If Karrion Kross wins, Sami Zayn has to say Kross was right, and if Zayn wins, Kross has to say I was wrong about Zayn. So, to me, that just leads me to believe that, because that stipulation isn't even all that serious. It's 3 words. It's not like they're putting up their careers or something like that. So, ultimately, it doesn't matter who wins. I think I could see either one of them winning. I feel like if anybody ever wants to take Karrion Kross seriously again, a guy who has not been taken seriously for a while now, I think he has to win this match. I think he needs a big win on pay-per-view for people to start taking him seriously again. And him losing here is just going to lead to what? Like, what does he do after this? The biggest thing he's done in the last few years is get a pinfall win over Bo Dallas from the Wyatt Six, Uncle Howdy. And that didn't put him anywhere serious. So, I don't know. I mean, this is one of the guys that Triple H really swore by during the latter days of the Black and Gold NXT, 2021, 2020. To me, it's a very sad time because a lot of things were going on back then in the world and in my life that I choose not to remember. But the big push of Karrion Kross was definitely something I won't forget, and it hasn't even come close to that in a while, ever, in fact. So I think he almost has to win, but I would not be surprised if Sami Zayn just wins and they move on to something else with Sami Zayn. We then have our co-main event. Roman Reigns and Jey Uso against Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. I mean, bottom line, I don't see Bron Breakker or Roman Reigns getting pinned here. I actually feel like a Roman-Bron Breakker singles match would be bigger for this event. Maybe they're holding that off for WrestleMania. That is a WrestleMania type of match. But I have a feeling that either Bron Breakker's going to pin Jey Uso or Bronson Reed's going to get pinned by Roman and Jey, or one of those two. It feels like of the guys in Seth's faction, Bronson Reed is the one that can probably get pinned the easiest because they're really protecting them, but not as much as Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker is very well protected. Very, very well protected. So you saw his performance in that gauntlet match from a couple weeks ago on Raw. So he's not getting pinned here. If Bron Breakker pins Roman Reigns, that is a statement. That is a statement, and that is WWE telling us that this is our guy and that we're going to go with him. But I don't see that happening just yet. So I think Roman Reigns and Jey Uso win, Bronson Reed gets pinned. Or the other possibility is maybe the bad guys win because they introduce a fourth member. Because remember, they're probably going to be keeping this going until Survivor Series, and they can do War Games at that point with the whole squad. Main event, CM Punk versus Gunther. Now, is this match actually going to go on last? Because it could go on first. I don't think it will, though. I think this time they are going to let the World Heavyweight title close night one. Punk and Gunther. I've given you my scenario for my prediction earlier this week with a different video. I think Seth Rollins is going to cash in on either the match to make it a three-way, or after Punk wins the title, Seth cashes in on him right away, revealing that the injury he had was a work, that he was overselling it, trying to let Punk and even Gunther, trying to let either of these two guys sort of create a false sense of peace and think that maybe, this is, that they're going to be safe. And I think that Seth Rollins is walking out of SummerSlam with the heavyweight championship of the world on Raw and as the top heel. And he's going to have to run from not only Punk, but also Gunther. So there's a lot of potential storylines to come out of that. That is my prediction for night one. Let's move on to night two, SummerSlam Sunday. We're going to start with what I think is probably going to be the opener, even though I don't know if it will be. Triple threat for the women's world title, Naomi, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky. It's like the WrestleMania match, except you're taking Bianca out and putting Naomi in, who cashed in on the Women's Evolution show to win the title. It is too soon, in my view, for Naomi to drop that title. I think you've got like a situation here where she could catch fire as a heel and have Rhea and Io keep chasing her in singles matches. I think, when WrestleMania came around, Io was the champion, and I was for sure thinking she was going to lose that title there, and she didn't. I think here it'll probably be similar. And I think that not only will it be similar, but I think it'll be one of those situations where the finish will be like Naomi, you think she's like not involved, then she quickly comes in and gets the pin. So that's my prediction. I think Naomi retains. Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria in a no disqualification, no countout last chance match for the women's intercontinental title. If Lynch wins, Valkyria can no longer challenge for the title as long as Lynch is champion. This is really coming off. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but it's coming off like Bayley might screw Lyra Valkyria here. I don't think Lyra has to necessarily be the one to dethrone Becky, even though that would be a nice moment for her. Her winning all the titles she's won this year has already been great moments. And I just have a suspicion that Bayley is going to get involved, and either accidental or on purpose, Becky Lynch retains. I know that I'm not super sold on that, but I just have that feeling. I can feel it. It's just an instinct that they're going to do something like that. They may not, but it's no DQ, no count out. So it could happen at any point. Steel cage match for the WWE United States Championship. Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu. This is the night for Jacob to get the title back. I'm thinking he's going to moonsault from the top of the cage because he's nuts like that. Maybe not, but Jacob Fatu's going to win here unless they debut another Samoan for Solo's new bloodline faction. I think Jacob gets the title back. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if Solo retains and Jacob keeps chasing him. But it just seems to me like Jacob is going to win this and finally get back at his nephew. I guess he's a nephew, right? So then we have the 6-pack tables, ladders, and chairs match. This is probably going to open up night 2, but I could be wrong. This is a big one. The Wyatt 6 versus Andrade and Rey Fenix versus DIY versus Fraxium versus the Motor City Machine Guns versus the Street Profits. This could be one of the wildest TLCs we've ever seen. We just saw a TLC on SmackDown, like 3 months ago? And that was a crazy match. This one has the potential to be even crazier. You got a lot of people in there. You got 12 guys there. Now, because this is a TLC match, that means that the Wyatt 6 can lose the titles without getting pinned. And that's going to protect them. Therefore, it sounds like that's what they're going with here. Now, who's going to win? I have it narrowed down to 2 teams. And I could be wrong because anybody can really win this. Fraxium or Andrade and Rey Fenix, because they're the newer teams in the division. I wouldn't mind it if the Guns had another run, because I don't know if their first run, I think it could have been better. But we've got guys in here who are just frenzied wrestlers, high flyers. It's going to be just an absolute insane level of over-the-top theatrics, over-the-top, just complete and utter mayhem. And the people are going to love it. And quite frankly, for those SummerSlam tickets, they kind of deserve it. So I think it'll be either Andrade and Phoenix and Fraxium. Maybe I'm cheating with that. It could be anybody, but I'm sure to be entertained. Then we have the Intercontinental title match, Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles. They've been holding off on this one for a while. I think they're going to make a lot of us think that AJ is going to win, but I think ultimately Dominic will win, either with JD and Finn Balor interfering, or maybe this is the night that Finn finally turns on Dominic and lets his former Bullet Club buddy get the title. Either of those two finishes I think are going to work. I have a feeling Dominic's retaining because, he's like a heel that always seems to get himself heat. But I also think that he's good at, he doesn't need the Intercontinental title. He can lose a championship or lose a match and then get his heat right back. So that's a talent that not a lot of guys know how to do. And Dominic Mysterio, for being a young guy, does know how to do it. So, yeah, those are my thoughts on that match. Then we have the main event. John Cena, Cody Rhodes in a street fight. I have already outlined what I think the finish is going to be in a previous video. I'll repeat it here. Cody Rhodes is not losing to John Cena twice in 1 year. I don't see how that's possible. Cody will get his win back from WrestleMania and his championship back. Cena's dropping the title tonight. Or not tonight. Not tonight, but Sunday night. And then they could slowly begin to turn him babyface again shortly after. I think Cody this time, to where he didn't pull the trigger before, will pull it a bit too much. I could see Cena bleeding. I could see them doing a situation where they set it up to be a double turn, where Cody does anything and everything to destroy John Cena and successfully does it to get his title back. And we saw hints, glimpses of this in the build-up. I think Cody can go full-ass Homelander and regain the championship and think he's doing the right thing by killing John Cena's reign and snuffing him out, when in reality he's just going to the dark side, which Cena predicted he would do. There's a lot of ways they can go about this. There's a lot of different paths they can take, but I feel like this is the only path that makes the most sense to me. Cody Rhodes doing something dastardly, doing something uncharacteristic of him to get the championship back. And then we're going to be in store for some very interesting television going forward. Feel free to leave your predictions in the comments down below and let me know who you think's going to win the matches. You can either type up your own results or give me more details. That's up to you. It's really up to you. I'll have a whole day to read them, so definitely leave them in the comments. For now, take care, and I will be reviewing SummerSlam both nights here on the World of Geekdom YouTube channel. For now, see you then.